This week on Skill of the Week, we'll be introducing the concept of distress tolerance. At Equip, we teach our patients and families a variety of skills to cope with the difficult emotions that are a natural part of eating disorder recovery. Throughout recovery, our emotions can range from a mild, think 1, 2, or 3 on a scale of 0 to 10, to intense, think 8, 9, or 10. Distress tolerance encompasses a group of skills which include distract, self-soothe, improve the moment, tip skills, and radical acceptance. These skills are useful when dealing with our emotions when they're at an 8, 9, or 10, and when they reach crisis level. None of us like experiencing intense, uncomfortable emotions. It can be especially hard to watch your child experience intense emotion. However, the emotions are a normal part of life and an even more normal and frequent part of eating disorder recovery. There's a saying that goes, pain is inevitable, but suffering is optional. Today I've got probably the best person to talk to me about distress tolerance and eating disorders, Maris. So Maris, I'm hoping you can talk to us a little bit more about how the intense emotions helped you through recovery.
Yeah, I think this is such an important topic to discuss because I know many families, including my own family, get really scared or really afraid when you see your child this distressed. And I felt all the distress, whether that was yelling or screaming at meals, whether it were the times where I was physically violent with my parents. These were all things that were so far outside of my usual behavior that they really freaked my parents out. And I know now that my mom had a few moments where she was like, are we doing the right thing here or am I making everything worse? And luckily she got the advice, which I totally agree with, which is that's a sign you're on the right path. You know, we have to make the eating disorder uncomfortable in order for it to go away. And I think that reframe can really help parents and patients themselves throughout this process.
That's such a great point. Tell us a little bit more about how it changed for you. Did your emotions ever go down?
It definitely got easier over time, but it did take continuing to lean into that discomfort. I think if we had taken that as a sign to kind of pull back and challenge the eating disorder less, it only would have stretched out the process more. So kind of the only way out is through in some ways, and you can use distress tolerance skills to make it a bit more tolerable.
Do you feel like it was helpful that your parents knew any of these distress tolerance skills? Maybe for perhaps themselves?
You know, they did have to manage their own distress. It is distressing to see your child go through something that hard, and so I think all of us being equipped with those skills is really helpful.
We hope you've been able to build some understanding and acceptance of how painful and intense emotions can be, and that it's possible to work through them. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next week.